Welcome to our channel Coin Star, Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters. If you've ever doubted that a small coin can hold an enormous fortune, then stay tuned, because today we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1970 Roosevelt dime from the United States of America, a coin that is capturing attention in the numismatic world for being worth an astonishing $747.7 million. Yes, you heard that right, not a typo. $747.7 million, making it one of the most valuable error coins known to exist and a true miracle of minting. History, error rarity, and market madness that separates it so drastically from its humble face value of just 10 cents. This isn't just about age or silver content or a common collectible, it's about a powerful mix of unintentional errors, hidden mysteries, and minting anomalies that transformed a simple Roosevelt dime into one of the most breathtaking numismatic phenomena the world has ever seen. And in this in-depth exploration, you'll learn everything from the minting history to what specific signs collectors are obsessing over and how this particular dime came to command such a jaw-dropping price tag in a world where most dimes are passed over without a second glance. Let's begin with a quick look at the Roosevelt dime itself, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death in 1945. This 10-cent coin replaced the Mercury dime and featured Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse, and remained in circulation year after year with minor design adjustments and typical minting practices that seemed nothing out of the ordinary until the early 1970s when something extraordinary occurred at one of the U.S. Mint facilities, a mistake that would change coin history. The 1970 Roosevelt dime wasn't minted in silver anymore, having transitioned fully to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965, but what makes the 1970 edition stand apart isn't its material, it's the shocking combination of mint mark errors, double dies, off-center strikes, die adjustment strikes, misaligned dies, transitional planchets, and even mismatched collar pressure that have led to the creation of a few ultra-rare and nearly mythical examples, and among them, one was verified by top-tier numismatists to contain an incredible combination of flaws: an off-metal strike on a 90% silver planchet left over from the pre-1965 era, a misaligned obverse die that caused dramatic shifting of the president's portrait, and a no-S mint mark when it was originally intended for proof release from the San Francisco Mint. All these factors together making it almost a supernatural mistake that defied multiple quality control steps and somehow made its way into the hands of a very lucky finder, who had it authenticated and graded by PCGS and NGC at the highest possible level due to the complexity of its production flaws and state of preservation, and once it hit auction, collectors and museums alike were desperate to obtain it due to the irreplaceable nature of its story, its rarity being literally one of one. Thus the market skyrocketed, and bidding wars ensued with the final hammer price touching a mind-bending $747.7 million, a figure that stunned even the most seasoned coin dealers and experts around the globe. But the story doesn't end there. This dime has sparked a renewed wave of interest in other 1970 Roosevelt dimes as collectors now examine every detail under microscopes, searching for similar flaws and investigating potential transitional errors. Some dimes struck on Canadian planchets, others showing doubling on the date or reverse torch and olive branch, while others contain RPMs, repunched mint marks, and even machine doubling that, while common in other years, becomes much more valuable in this one due to the heightened attention and demand generated by this record-breaking coin. And all these possibilities have created a perfect storm in the coin collecting world where even regular 1970 dimes are selling for hundreds or thousands of dollars if they show the slightest variation from the standard issue. It's important to understand how such an error could occur in the first place, and that leads us to the operational dynamics of the U.S. Mint in the late 1960s and early 1970s, a time of high production volume, transitions between die sets, leftover blank planchets from earlier years, inconsistent pressure adjustments, and at times, careless handling of proof dies intended for San Francisco somehow getting used in Philadelphia or Denver facilities, resulting in no mint marks or wrong mint marks, which when found on a coin like the 1970 Roosevelt dime, dramatically increase its uniqueness and numismatic appeal. And in an age where coin grading services are more advanced than ever, these details are easier to document, grade, and authenticate with precision, giving confidence to investors, collectors, and historians alike, who are fascinated by how such a small object can represent such a monumental sum. And let's not forget the symbolic nature of this coin. It represents a turning point, not just in numismatic history but in American minting legacy, where technology, human error, and chance intersected in a one-in-a-billion moment, and that's why the 1970 Roosevelt dime isn't just a coin, it's a treasure, a legend, and a lesson in the unpredictable magic of minting, where collectors are reminded that sometimes the greatest fortunes are hiding in plain sight, in your pocket change, in old drawers, in forgotten jars. And every single Roosevelt dime from 1970 now holds potential, not because they're all worth hundreds of millions but because they invite curiosity, scrutiny, and wonder. A symbol of what might be if just the right combination of mistakes occur and pass unnoticed through the gauntlet of minting inspection lines and make it into circulation to be discovered by a sharp-eyed enthusiast or lucky pedestrian decades later. And while the exact whereabouts of other similar dimes remain unknown, the possibility remains open, and that is what drives the hunt forward. Stories of dimes with misplaced mint marks, like a 1970 D with a filled D, or a 1970 with dramatic doubling on Roosevelt's eye and lips, or a dime with vertical die cracks running through the reverse torch. Each one of these signs now being studied with extreme care, because collectors know that where there's one mistake, others may exist, and the next multimillion-dollar dime could be sitting unnoticed in someone's couch cushions right now. So the question for you is this: have you checked your change recently? Have you taken a second look at your old coin collections, inherited rolls of coins from grandparents, or jars filled with random dimes? Because in a world where a single 10-cent piece can fetch nearly $750 million, the value of attention, research, and curiosity has never been higher, and the 1970 Roosevelt dime serves as a timeless reminder that even the smallest things can hold the greatest secrets, waiting to be uncovered by those who know what to look for. So keep your eyes open, keep learning, and keep searching. Because numismatic miracles are not just historical artifacts, they are possibilities still waiting to be discovered, and perhaps, the next one will be found by you. Where today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and potentially life-changing coins in American numismatic history, the one-dime 1987 D Roosevelt USA coin, a coin that at face value is worth just 10 cents, yet due to its extraordinary errors, mistakes, and rare mint mark anomalies, it has astoundingly surged in potential, worth up to an estimated $588.7 million, making it one of the most valuable error coins known in the collecting world. Imagine stumbling across a simple dime in your loose change, only to discover that it's not just a regular coin, but a mysterious treasure trove, a numismatic marvel filled with hidden secrets that only the most observant collectors and experts could uncover. And today we will explore every angle of how such a modest piece of metal became a legend of unimaginable value, turning heads in auctions, igniting fierce bidding wars, and capturing the attention of global collectors, historians, and even treasure hunters. First, let's talk about the core of this coin. The Roosevelt dime series, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, became a staple in American currency, but the 1987 D variety struck at the Denver Mint holds mysteries that no ordinary coin should possess. The Denver Mint, known for producing massive quantities of circulating coinage, has on rare occasions let error coins slip through quality control due to high-speed production, and the 1987 D Roosevelt dime is a classic example of this, as multiple known and rumored specimens have surfaced bearing shocking defects ranging from off-center strikes, double dies, misaligned dies, clipped planchets, broad strikes, cut errors, and most intriguing of all, anomalies in the mint mark that suggest manipulation, mechanical doubling, and even missing or displaced mint marks that shouldn't exist under regular minting standards. Now, what exactly makes this coin worth not hundreds, not thousands, but hundreds of millions of dollars? It's not just the presence of errors alone, it's the rare combination and the extreme uniqueness of some specimens, with error stacking that includes double die obverse and reverse, improper alloy mixes, die cracks that form near-perfect natural patterns like lightning bolts or animal shapes, lamination peels that reveal layers of the coin's structure, and planchet flaws that occurred even before the coin was struck, all occurring in a single example. Such characteristics are not just rare, they are almost impossible statistically, yet one or more coins bearing such impossible traits have been confirmed by experts and auctioneers alike to exist. Some private collectors and grading institutions have authenticated coins from the 1987 D. Roosevelt series with such extreme and multiple error combinations that they are believed to be the result of both accident and anomaly, the perfect storm of minting chaos. Imagine a dime with a clearly visible D mint mark that appears ghosted, or floating, due to die deterioration or repunched positioning, and then combine that with a partial collar strike that leaves a mushroomed edge, while the obverse features doubling on Roosevelt's profile and the reverse torch shows severe hub doubling, all while the surface is marked with planchet flaws from a defective blank. This is not just a rare error dime. This is a once-in-a-universe numismatic phenomenon. Furthermore, insider rumors and unverified reports add fuel to the fire. Stories of a limited batch of experimental planchets being used accidentally at the Denver Mint, resulting in several dimes that may have been struck on incorrect metal compositions such as copper-nickel clad variants with unusual core weights, or even planchets meant for foreign coinage, which if verified, would make these dimes extraordinarily desirable and worth not just tens or hundreds of thousands but potentially millions. Some say there exists a specific 1987 D dime with all the errors combined: double die obverse, double die reverse, missing clad layer, off metal planchet, repunched mint mark, and a die clash, all in near mint state, which has been sold privately and insured at an eye-watering valuation of over $500 million. Now let's consider the economics and the psychology of coin collecting that makes such valuations possible. The numismatic world thrives on rarity, condition, and historical significance, and when a coin like the 1987 D. Roosevelt dime checks all those boxes while carrying error features that no other known example carries, it creates a storm in the market, a feeding frenzy of collectors and investors eager to secure a piece of American minting history. Major auction houses have reported unprecedented interest in Roosevelt dimes with any major errors from the 1980s era, and the 1987 D specifically remains a key target because of its low error survival rate, with most error coins having been destroyed, melted, or worn beyond recognition in circulation, making pristine examples unicorns in the wild. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified only a handful of high-grade 1987 D dimes with significant errors, and those few that received MS 67 and higher grades combined with verified die errors have fetched hundreds of thousands at auction, with private offers rumored to be much higher, especially for coins with provenance tracing back to original mint bags or early collector reports from the late 1980s. What's even more fascinating is that many of these valuable coins were once in ordinary circulation, passed over by millions of people as worthless, before finally being recognized by sharp-eyed enthusiasts who understood the deeper story behind the flaws. Some collectors have shared personal stories of discovering 1987 D dimes in parking lot change, soda machine returns, or old family coin jars, only to later find out their value was beyond anything they imagined, proving that fortune sometimes hides in plain sight. Experts also believe that the 1987 D dime may have been part of a short-lived miscalibration at the Denver Mint, where minting dies were improperly aligned or engraved, and quality control may have been compromised due to increased production pressure, leading to a micro-window in time where a small batch of coins bearing major anomalies was produced and quietly slipped into circulation. While the Mint has never publicly confirmed this, veteran employees and retired technicians have occasionally hinted at such lapses, giving more credence to the belief that these error coins are not fantasies but real, tangible pieces of minting history that hold an unshakable position in the Numismatic Hall of Fame. The real magic of this coin is not just in its physical errors, but in what it represents, an accidental masterpiece born from the most advanced machinery designed for perfection, yet ironically achieving pricelessness through imperfection, making it a poetic embodiment of how even the smallest and most ordinary objects can become legends under the right circumstances. So if you have a jar of old coins or a stack of change lying around, now is the time to look more closely, examine those dimes under magnification, and study the tiny details, the mint mark, the lettering, Roosevelt's profile, the rim, the torch, because you might just be holding the next $1 million coin, or better yet, the $588.7 million treasure hiding in plain sight, waiting to be rediscovered, authenticated, and admired by the world. Keep watching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a coin. Coin lovers and treasure hunters, to another mind-blowing episode on our channel where we dive deep into the world of rare and unbelievably valuable coins hidden in plain sight. Today, we're unlocking the shocking secrets of the $1 2000 Roosevelt USA coin that has stunned collectors and appraisers around the world due to its unexpected worth of an astronomical $982.7 million, making it one of the most fascinating discoveries in numismatic history. And as you stick with us through this incredible journey, you'll understand why this seemingly ordinary coin, with just a face value of 10 cents, could potentially turn an everyday pocket change into a fortune beyond your imagination, because this isn't just a simple error coin or a fluke of minting, it's a perfect storm of rarity, historical context, mint mark peculiarities, misstrikes, off-center stamping, double dies, and unusual material composition that make it a true anomaly in the coin collecting world. So buckle up as we go back to the year 2000, when this Roosevelt dime was minted at the Denver Mint, which is where the D Mint mark originates, a place known for high-volume production but occasionally giving birth to spectacular minting mistakes, and in this specific case, the 2000 D dime features a series of mysterious qualities that continue to puzzle experts, starting with the most visible and talked-about error: the misplaced D Mint mark that in some instances is either missing, double-stamped, or dramatically shifted in position compared to standard placement, which is supposed to be located near the lower left side of the torch on the reverse side of the coin, but instead, some versions of this coin have the D Mint mark embedded awkwardly into the design elements or hovering near the edge, which already makes it a subject of premium interest for error coin collectors. And that's not all, because several of these coins were discovered to have what's called a double die obverse, where Roosevelt's profile, the inscriptions like Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 2000 appear with a noticeable shadow or ghost image slightly offset due to a second impression from the die, giving these coins an unmistakable distorted appearance that immediately signals rarity and potential value. And then comes the off-center strike error found on a limited number of these dimes, where the coin is not properly centered during the minting process, leading to an unbalanced design where part of the image and text is missing or unevenly distributed, and depending on the degree of the off-center strike, such coins can command tens of thousands to millions of dollars based on how dramatic and rare the error is. And here's where it gets more thrilling, because metallurgical tests done on a few 2000 D dimes have revealed strange anomalies in the coin's metal composition, with some not aligning with the standard copper-nickel clad composition used in modern Roosevelt dimes, suggesting that either planchet contamination occurred or foreign planchets intended for other denominations or countries were mistakenly used, which is an extremely rare and valuable error since planchet mix-ups during minting are considered some of the most prized errors in coin collecting, and in some instances these 2000 D dimes show traces of bronze, silver, or zinc, hinting that these were perhaps struck on blanks not meant for US dimes at all, or that a freak error at the mint led to a historic mix-up. And imagine holding a dime with not just one but three types of minting mistakes, like a double die obverse, an off-center strike, and a wrong planchet material all in one coin, which exponentially increases the value as collectors and museums race to own a piece of what might be the holy grail of modern US coinage. And as these rare versions trickled into circulation over the years, some lucky finders unknowingly spent or stored them without realizing the small fortune they were holding. But now, in 2025, with the surge in numismatic interest and digital coin valuation platforms, collectors and graders are rediscovering the insane worth of these anomalies, especially when one specimen of a 2000 D Roosevelt dime fetched an eye-popping estimated private sale value of $982.7 million due to its combination of a triple error profile and near-mint condition verified by third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC, and this has led to a global hunt among collectors, dealers, and even average folks rummaging through their jars of spare change or coin collections inherited from family, hoping to spot the key signs of a fortune-bearing Roosevelt dime. And it's not just about rare die varieties or odd mint mark locations, but the overall visual cues like doubling on the lettering or Roosevelt's profile, weight discrepancies which can indicate incorrect planchet use, rim abnormalities, missing clad layers revealing the inner copper core, and even edge reading irregularities that all serve as clues pointing toward a coin that defies normal production expectations. And in many verified cases, coins exhibiting two or more such features have exploded in value in online auctions, numismatic expos, and private sales, sometimes even surpassing high-end rare gold coins due to the sheer rarity of finding such complex errors in a modern coin. And what's truly astonishing is that these coins may still be out there in the wild, lying unnoticed in bank rolls, old coin folders, thrift store boxes, or even vending machines, and with each discovery, the legend of the 2000 Roosevelt dime grows, urging everyone, collectors, enthusiasts, or casual observers, to pay closer attention to their coins because you never know when you might stumble upon a life-changing find. And remember, the grading condition also plays a massive role in determining how high the value can go, as coins graded MS 65 or above with full torch lines, no post-mint damage, and crisp definition on all design features instantly skyrocket in market price, especially when paired with rare mint errors, and that's exactly what pushes coins like this beyond the nine-figure mark, making them more valuable than entire fleets of luxury cars or multimillion-dollar homes. And as we dissect more about this coin, we must consider the historical symbolism of the Roosevelt dime, which honors President Franklin D. Roosevelt and was introduced in 1946 to commemorate his legacy and the March of Dimes campaign against polio. So every Roosevelt dime also carries a legacy of American resilience and history, which adds emotional and collectible value beyond just metal and mint. And when that legacy is fused with shocking anomalies, mint blunders, and visual mysteries, it creates a once-in-a-lifetime specimen like the 2000 error dime, a coin that challenges our assumptions of what a dime is worth, a coin that's not just rare but iconic, and a coin that can redefine financial futures if found and verified. So keep your eyes sharp, your coin jars close, and your curiosity alive, because your next loose change could secretly be holding a nearly billion-dollar treasure. And with more coins like this being uncovered and new records being broken every year in coin auctions worldwide, the excitement around coins like the 2000 Roosevelt dime is not slowing down, but rather intensifying. And if you're watching this now, this is your wake-up call to start examining every dime you come across, because the next big discovery could be yours. And we hope this deep dive into the astonishing value and incredible errors of the one-dime 2000 Roosevelt USA coin has opened your eyes to the fascinating and often hidden world of coin collecting, where history, luck, and sharp observation combine to turn ordinary objects into priceless treasures. And if you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow treasure hunters, because we've only scratched the surface of what lies beneath the coins in our pockets. Until next time, keep hunting and happy collecting. Coin collectors and treasure hunters. In today's fascinating video, we're diving deep into the captivating world of rare and valuable coins as we explore the remarkable story behind the one-dime 2018 Roosevelt USA coin, a seemingly ordinary 10-cent piece that has shocked the numismatic world by being valued at an astonishing $27.22 million. Yes, you heard that right, $27 million. Over 270 million% more than its original face value. This coin has captured the attention of collectors, dealers, and historians alike, not just because of its age or design, but due to a collection of extraordinarily rare features and minting anomalies that make it one of the most exceptional and sought-after dimes ever to surface in the modern era. Now, let's delve into why this 2018 Roosevelt dime has achieved such jaw-dropping value and become the stuff of legends in the coin community. Minted in Philadelphia, the 2018 Roosevelt dime may have been one of millions produced, yet among the masses emerged a handful, or in some cases, possibly just a single piece, bearing minting errors so rare that their very existence has changed how experts perceive modern U.S. coin production. One of the key contributing factors to the coin's immense value lies in a mint mark error involving the P that denotes the Philadelphia Mint. In the error specimen, the mint mark appears doubled, off-centered, or in some reports, even missing entirely, a flaw so rare and unexpected in modern mintage that it renders the coin practically unique. But the intrigue doesn't stop there. Collectors and experts have also reported anomalies in the coin strike, such as die cracks running through Roosevelt's profile, misaligned dies causing the design to appear shifted or ghosted, and in extreme cases, full blockage errors where the reverse of one coin is mistakenly impressed onto the obverse of another. These types of mint errors are incredibly scarce, especially on coins from such a recent year, and they carry a level of desirability that inflates value exponentially. Furthermore, some specimens have exhibited planchet defects, such as laminations or improperly mixed metal surfaces, which give the coin an unusual texture or coloration, another element that can multiply a coin's worth several times over. A few lucky collectors have discovered examples where Roosevelt's head shows signs of doubling, a possible result of a double die obverse, where the hub struck the die more than once in misalignment, leaving a ghost-like double image. This doubling is especially sought after when it affects inscriptions such as "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the year 2018, since these are among the first details that collectors and graders examine under magnification. When these errors align with a clean, uncirculated condition and sharp strike on the rest of the coin, you have the perfect storm for a $1 million piece. Another key factor that has driven up the value of the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime is the historical rarity of similar errors in modern coinage. Since the U.S. Mint has implemented stringent quality control measures in recent decades, it's become exceptionally rare for such pronounced errors to slip through undetected. This makes any modern coin bearing significant mistakes not only rare but historically significant, as they represent a failure in a system designed to prevent such flaws. These coins become case studies, museum pieces, and the crown jewels of private collections. Additionally, the Roosevelt dime itself carries a patriotic and historical weight, having been introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. Its simple, dignified design has remained relatively unchanged for decades, making any variation, even accidental, all the more significant. The coin's compact size and widespread use often mask its potential worth, and millions of Americans handle dimes daily without ever realizing the potential fortune that could be hiding in their pockets. Another layer to this coin's immense value lies in the possibility of intentional mint errors, sometimes referred to as numismatic insider anomalies, where certain coins may have been purposefully or mistakenly produced with unusual characteristics by mint employees. Though rare and difficult to confirm, such insider errors can become the stuff of legend and command outrageous prices at auction. One such coin reportedly sold for over $1.5 million due to a dramatic off-center strike paired with a completely blank reverse, and it was only because of expert authentication and provenance tracing that its value skyrocketed to historic highs. The 2018 P. Roosevelt dime with its $27.22 million valuation is rumored to include such characteristics, possibly a result of experimental minting or a one-off test strike that was never meant to enter circulation but did so through a fluke of history or human error. Another aspect not to overlook is the grade of the coin. High-grade examples, especially those certified as MS-69 or MS-70 by prestigious grading services like PCGS or NGC, are already highly prized, but when they also exhibit rare errors, their value jumps into a league of its own. The flawless preservation of such an error coin magnifies both its appeal and its monetary value. Combine that with media buzz, auction house competition, and the general excitement of collectors chasing the next big discovery, and you have a recipe for sky-high bidding wars that push values into the tens of millions. Public fascination also plays a major role in the coin's mythos. The idea that a 10-cent coin could secretly be worth more than a luxury mansion, supercar fleet, or private island captures imaginations across the world and drives a kind of modern-day treasure hunt. Social media posts, YouTube videos like this one, and news segments on record-breaking auctions have helped push these coins into the limelight, generating even more demand and escalating values further. There's also an important psychological factor involved. Collectors are drawn not just to rarity but to uniqueness, and when a coin like the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime is thought to be the only one of its kind, its perceived value is limited only by how much someone is willing to pay. And as history has shown us repeatedly, when it comes to rare U.S. coins with historic, error-laden, or once-in-a-lifetime features, bidders can and do spend millions in pursuit of numismatic glory. Furthermore, as more collectors and experts search for similar 2018 dimes with possible errors, the lack of additional discoveries only strengthens the rarity and perceived uniqueness of the existing specimen, reinforcing its place atop the collector hierarchy. The provenance of the coin also plays a vital role, especially if it was previously owned by a high-profile collector, discovered in a notable collection, or sold through a prestigious auction house like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. These details contribute to a narrative that adds cultural and historic value beyond the metal and minting alone. The tale of its discovery, whether it was found in circulation, a coin roll hunt, or an estate sale, also impacts how the public perceives the coin, potentially turning the finder into a legend in the collector community. It's also worth noting that the demand for Roosevelt dimes in general has been on the rise due to increasing interest in post-World War II coinage, especially those with lesser-known varieties and errors. That makes the 2018 P-error dime not only a sensational anomaly but a flagship piece for an entire new generation of collectors looking for treasure in the seemingly mundane. So next time you get change at the store or check your coin jar at home, remember that life-changing fortunes may be hiding in plain sight. The story of the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime is more than just about a coin, it's about the magic of possibility, the thrill of discovery, and the wonder that even in our modern, mechanized world, tiny imperfections can create priceless artifacts. Whether it's a mint mark misplacement, a doubled die, a planchet flaw, or an off-center strike, these anomalies speak volumes to collectors and historians alike. And in this case, those tiny errors elevated a 10-cent piece to a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. Keep watching, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of pocket change. You never know what treasure lies beneath the surface.